Hey y'all, my dad finally left this world. We knew it wasn't going to be long. We know that death comes for all of us. And not everybody's blessed to say everything that needs to be said before the time comes. Death is a price we pay for life. And I often question, have I done enough good in this world to earn the gift that I've been given? And I can tell you from my dad that he has. He told me stories of his youth growing up, no electricity, no indoor plumbing, no insulation in their home. They had to raise everything that they ate, from your vegetables, your fruits, your meats. They had to figure out a way to store that to get them through the winter. Coming out of that into the more modern age, more modern conveniences, he went from living in the South to moving north for the factory jobs in the early 40s. He was 6 years old when he made the move with his family. The modern conveniences, of course, you're really beginning to see standard of living increase. Indoor plumbing, electricity, things that we take for granted today. He was the last of a great generation in this family. He always made sure that we had food on the table, a roof over our head, clothes on our back. My parents always made sure that we were loved. They went through some very hard times, like most people in marriages do, and somehow stuck it out for over 62 years. He had a really bad accident back in the 1980s. Spent 6 weeks in intensive care, came home in a wheelchair, lost the use of his right arm and left leg temporarily. His right arm was about 2 years before he got use back. But he was a fighter. He didn't let a disability keep him down. The day that he come home from the hospital was the last day of enrollment at a local community college, and he went and enrolled, and he spent the next few years going to school, which he probably has in total from the time he got out of the military till the time he died, probably 20 years of college. He graduated at the age of 70 with his nursing degree. He had an LPN. And an extremely intelligent man. I didn't see him watching much television for the sake of entertainment. He always had a book open if he was sitting in his chair. He loved mathematics. When he went in for his nursing degree, where you take the college entry level exam to see where you're at with things, he tested out of all college level mathematics. There just wasn't anything that I've ever seen that he couldn't do. There may be some things he couldn't do yet, but he was going to learn how. And he was able to let go when we became adults and lived our own lives. He might be doing something that he didn't like, and he'd let you know about it, but he didn't chastise you continuously for it or anything like that. He said what he had to say, and he was done. He was fair about it. He had a small dog that took him down. Told him he needed to get rid of that 30-foot retractable leash. His dog took off. Dad held on and pulled him to the ground. He had a fractured hip. And I watched a man who was once 280 pounds shrivel up over the last few years. The last weight that they got on him was 117 pounds. He had been in and out of the hospital, nursing home for rehab, and then his esophagus became paralyzed and he couldn't eat, couldn't drink. Refused a feeding tube. He just wanted to go home. He knew he was going to die. He told me 2 visits ago when I was up there, he said, "It's been damn nice knowing you, son." Some of the hardest words to hear. I'm sad that he's gone. He doesn't live in this world with us anymore. I think humanity lost a wonderful person, a wonderful human being. He had always just been a natural teacher. Anybody that was around him that was willing, he would teach them what he knew. Tried to make the world a better place. When they let him out of the hospital, they told us he had 3 days to live, and that's all he lasted, was 3 days. He tried to eat, he tried to drink. He rallied the day before, seemed perfectly fine from what I'm told. He was actually eating and drinking, which I thought we had a fighting chance he was going to stay with us a while longer. But he had been in terrible pain since his accident. They had been managing his pain for 40 years. And I can't conceive how much pain somebody is in when they have you on fentanyl patches and morphine. That just has to be an unreal amount of pain. It's going to be a tough adjustment for those of us who left behind, me and my 2 siblings and my mom. But he's not suffering anymore. He got to die at home like he wanted to. We got to say everything that we wanted to say to each other. I went up there and spent a couple weeks and then went back to visit. Don't take for granted those that you have in your life, you love, your parents, whatever the case may be. You're not always going to have the ability or the gift to spend with them as their life begins to fade. So every time you see those that you care about, tell them how you feel. Give them a hug. You don't know when it's going to be your last. It's still going to hurt, but I think it's going to hurt a lot more if you don't get to say the things you want to say. If you watch this till the end, thank you. Just something I need to get out, and I need, hopefully, to carry on my dad's tradition and have a positive impact. Positive impact on those around me. Take care. Good night.